Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning. And let's make a start with the Radha Madhav. And then we shall continue verse 4 to 8. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girdhari Gopijana Vallabha Girdhari Yashodanandana Rachujana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rachujana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanchari Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Staptam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamlam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sekrijatam Segana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Segana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Upeshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriye Vanchakalpatu Brihescha Kripa Sindhumevacha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasdi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukram Kroti Vachalam Bhangum Langyate Grim Yat Kripatam Vandashi Gurun Dintaranam Paramananda Madhavam Shitana Ishwaram Naram Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nasta Presha Avdareshu Nityam Bhāgavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhakti Nestiki Hare Krishna. So, stop share this. So we're discussing verse 4 to 8. So we've seen the last three verses. We've discussed last three verses where we glorified Krishna as the absolute truth. And then we also glorified Srimad Bhagavatam in the third verse. Now, in the fourth verse, so the glorifications of Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam itself has been glorified. Fourth verse, we're going to glorify the Tapabhumi, where we heard the Srimad Bhagavatam. By the bank of the Ganges, Maharaj Parikshit heard it from Sukadeva Goswami. We heard it with the sages, at the forest in the Mesharana. And that's what we're going to glorify. So Tapabhumi, there's 88,000 sages gathered to perform yajna, 1,000-year yajna they were going to do. And normally that place used by sages for doing austerities. So a very popular, very holy place, very close to the sage's heart. So Srila Prabhupada explains that there is a difference between chanting in London and in Vrindavan. So the holy places give extra stimulus. So there is an extra stimulus for spiritual advancement in a holy place. It's because our bhakti is magnified many times when we're doing in a holy place. But you have to be careful that our offenses can also magnify as well. So you have to be very careful when you're in a holy place about your behavior and your interactions with other people. Make sure that do things in the right way. So we'll start 1.1.4. Nameshi nimisha kshetre rishya shonakadaya satram savargaya lokaya sesra samam asata. So Nameshe is in the forest known to Naimesharanya. So it's short for that. Animisha Kshetre. So that's a spot which is especially a favorite of Vishnu, who doesn't close his eyelids. So Rishi is obviously the sages. Shonak Adaya, headed by sage Shonak Rishi. So Satram, sacrifice, Svargaya, the Lord who is glorified in heaven, Lokaya, and for the devotees who are always in touch with the Lord, Sahasra, 1,000, samam years, asata, perform. So once in a holy place in the forest of Naimesharanya, great sages headed by the sage Shonak assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. So the prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous 3 shlokas, as we just mentioned. And now the main topic of this great literature is being presented, Srimad Bhagavatam. After its first recitation by Srila Sukadeva Goswami was repeated the second time at Naimesharanya. In the Vaya Tantra, it is stated that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at a particular place known as Naimesharanya. So, according to this, Naimesharanya is the center of the universe. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Naimesharanya in the Vara Purana, where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of the demoniac people is curtailed. Thus, Brahmanas prefer Naimesharanya for such sacrificial performances. So, because Kali Yuga was looming, well, he was already here, the sages wanted to reduce his effects on mankind, help people, because when Kali Yuga has effect on us, things go crazy. We have demonic propensity, not necessarily 100% our fault, it's the nature of the Yuga. So the devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifices for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of material existence. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu causes further bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotee. This will bring everyone peace and prosperity. So, in other words, that every activity we do should be connected to Krishna always. The activity If we don't, then the activity will bind us to the material world. So something as simple as like brushing your teeth should be connected to Krishna. It's just, it's like that. So you're purifying your mouth. So when you're brushing that's why it's called Krishna consciousness. We're always conscious of Krishna. Whatever you do, say, will this please Krishna in some way? Can I please Krishna with this activity? So you purify your mouth so you can chant the holy name. That's what you're doing. You're not just brushing your teeth so you can have a nice and sparkly, look pretty. You're purifying your mouth, cleaning your teeth so you can chant the holy name and glorify the Lord and honor prasadam. You don't want to take prasadam without cleaning your teeth. But you're consciously thinking, let me clean my mouth so now I can sit nicely and chant and also honor prasadam later on. So automatically your cleaning teeth is connected to Krishna straight away. And just say that's liberating, otherwise you're just causing bondage for yourself. So these sages are performing sacrifice for the chain of yagyas. They're going to do for 1,000 years, chain of yagyas is going to continue for the benefit of the public. So same, with Prabhupada, he left home for the sake of the population and giving people a chance to connect with Krishna. This is what, the great sages do. They sacrifice their lives for the general public. So in this age, chanting of the holy name, that is the best sacrifice, not necessarily yagyas now, but it's chanting the holy name. And we sacrifice our time hearing and chanting the holy name. So let's continue with that. So the devotees of the Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifice for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of material existence. So that's two different: sense gratification or pleasure of Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it said that anything formed material world for any reason other than the pleasure of Lord Vishnu causes for the bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees. This will bring everyone peace and prosperity. So the great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such, the sages headed by Shonak and others assembled at this holy place of name Shrenya with a program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Forgetful men don't know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, the sages know it well, and therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends to all living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of all people, as we just saying. So Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, it's mentioned here, and all others, including demigods, men, siddhas, charans, vidyadhars, and other living entities, are like branches, twigs, and leaves of that tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all the parts of the tree are automatically nourished. You never nourish a tree by just watering its branches or its leaves. When you are watering a tree or a plant, it has to be done at the roots. Only those branches and leaves which are detached cannot be satisfied. So if anything that's not connected to that branch or the trunk, it won't get that nourishment. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, when it detached from the personality Godhead, like detached branches and leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources. The modern materialistic society is detached from its relation to the Supreme Lord, and all of its plans which are being made by the atheistic leaders are sure to baffle at every step, yet they don't wake up to this. And we've seen that, everything is temporary, comes to an end. 1 minute it's hoorah, and then everything, goes down. In this age, the congregation chanting of the holy names of the Lord is prescribed method for waking up. The ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teachings and in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. So you're not just helping yourself, you're helping the world. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for the same purpose, and this will be explained more specifically later in the text. So that's your verse 4. Go to verse 5. Ta ekdatu muniha pratar utagneha satkritam sutam asinam prachur idam adarat. They, the sages, ekda, one day, to but muniha, sages, prataha, morning, like pratkal, huta, burning, huta, agneya, the sacrificial fire, satkritam, due respects, sutam. So the introducing Sutta Goswami now, Shri Sutta Goswami, asinam, or asinam, seated on, prapachuhu, made inquiries, idam, on this as follows, adarat, with due, adarat, with due regards. So one day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Sutta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. So explain that morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. The great sages offer the speaker of Bhagavatam an elevated seat of respect called the Vyasasana. So it says here an elevated seat of respect called the Vyasasana. So we do try to sit lower than the speaker most times. Sometimes it can't be helped, especially like if there's no arrangement on the floor, we just have to sit on the seats level with the speaker. But ideally, the speaker should be more elevated position. Sri Vyasadeva is original spiritual preceptor for all men, and all other preceptors are considered to be his representatives. A representative is one who can exactly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva impregnated the message of Bhagavatam onto Srila Shukadeva Goswami, and Sri Sutta Goswami heard it from him. So Sri Shukadeva Goswami is now the spiritual master of Sutta Goswami. All bona fide representatives of Sri Vyasadeva in the chain of disciplic succession are to be understood to be Goswamis. These Goswamis restrain all their senses. That's what Goswami means, right? Controller of senses, or master of senses. And they stick to a path made by the previous Acharyas. The Goswamis do not deliver lectures on the Bhagavatam capriciously, rather they execute the services most carefully, following their predecessors who delivered the spiritual message unbroken to them. Those who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning, but this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with a great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. This is also the way recommended in Bhagavad-gita. One must learn the transcendental subject by submissive oral reception from the right sources. Therefore, the sages address the speaker Sutta Goswami with great respect. So when you listen to a speaker, you don't think, oh, let me find a fault, or you wait for him to slip up somewhere, make a mistake, and then you can catch him out. No. By the way, I've heard it like this. You don't really show respect to the speaker, even if he's think, oh, he made a slight error in his speaking. That's fine. That's okay. Let him work it out. That maybe it should be like this, but you don't go with the consciousness that I'm going to correct him today and show them better, like that. That should not be the attitude that we should be hearing with, because whatever you're looking for, you will find it. That's the nature that we will find what we're looking for, what we desire. So Srila Prabhupada explains that morning is the most auspicious time because mode of goodness is most prevalent, and which means we can concentrate more on spirituality, just natural, when we are calm and mind is not running everywhere, we're more attracted to spirituality in that way. That's makes a better connection. So, and there's no one like telling us, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, or you're not rushing up to work. So you've got peaceful time, there's not noises going around you, peaceful, you can concentrate. So morning time is the best time, and mind can be controlled more easily and become more focused. So it's better to chant most of the rounds in the morning. At least aim 12, minimum 10 rounds should be chanted. Prabhupada say 10 rounds should be at least double figures should be chanted, and the others you can make up in the daytime or in the evening. But 10 to 12 is, that should be the minimum that you try and do in the morning somehow. So, and to do that is to eat early in the night, go to sleep on time, and then wake up for Brahmurat and chant and join Srimad Bhagavatam Sangha. That's the best way to start the morning. So it's mentioned that always follow Srila Prabhupada as Acharya in our lives and not to use our own material mind and consciousness to create our own system. So, don't think, oh, I'll do it this way, this will be better. Just follow the system because they already tried and tested it and it works. So why waste time trying to devise your own system? Okay, you might say because that works for me, but this is definitely better what the Acharyas recommend for us. Thank you. So we'll go on to the next verse. 1, 5, 6. Tishya uchu Tvakalu Puranani Seti Hasani Chanaga Akhyatani Api Aditani Dharma Shastrani Yani Utta. So Rishi, the sages, Uchu, said, Tva, by you, Kalu, undoubtedly, Puranani, the supplements to the Vedas with illustrative narrations, Sa Atihasani, along with the history, along with the histories, Cha, and also Anagaha, freed from all vices, Akhyatani explained, Api, although Aditani well read, Dharma Shastrani, scriptures giving right direction to progressive life, Yani, all these, Utta said. So Rishya Uchutva Kalu Purnani, Seti Hasani Chanaga, Akhya Tani Api Aditani, Dharma Shastrani Yani Utta. So the sages said, respected Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vices. You are well versed in all the scriptures, famous for religious life and in the Puranas and the histories as well. For you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. So Srila Prabhupada explains that a Goswami or the bona fide representative of Sri Vyasadeva must be freed from all kinds of vices. So otherwise, if they're not free of vices, then they can't be a Goswami, right? Because they don't have control over the senses. 4 major vices of Kali Yuga: illicit connection with women, animal slaughter, intoxication, speculative gambling of all sorts. So a Goswami must be free from all these vices before he can dare sit on the Vyasasana. So I guess this is why in Iskcon, if somebody is going to give a class, they should be initiated, because an initiated person is automatically expected to be in control of those 4 vices. Otherwise, they should not be initiated. So that's why you can sit on the Vyasasana if you are initiated. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotless in character and who is not freed from the above mentioned vices. He not only should be freed from all such vices, but must also be well versed in all revealed scriptures or in the Vedas. Now, when it comes to that part, Srila Prabhupada said that you can, according to your ability, you can preach. But that's our preaching mission. We're in the Sankirtan mission, we're in the preaching mission. Preaching is our family business, right? So preaching is okay, that's allowed up to your capacity. What you know, you can share. That's the whole idea. What you learn, you share. So that part, Srila Prabhupada has given us that. Otherwise, we're waiting all lifetime and we're never able to share what we have learned, because this, it's huge. The message is huge. The Puranas are also parts of the Vedas. And histories like Mahabharata or Ramayana are also parts of the Vedas. The Acharyas or the Goswami must be well acquainted with all these literatures. Amazing. So we have a shortcut. We have Mahabharata, which gives all the essence of these. To hear and explain them is more important than reading them. One can assimilate the knowledge of the real scriptures only by hearing and explaining. Hearing is called Shravana and explaining is called Kirtan. The two processes of Shravan and Kirtan are of primary importance to progressive spiritual life. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject. Six. So, Srila Prabhupada explains that basically, well, first of all, initiated devotee has taken the vows to follow the four active principles as mentioned in the purport and chant minimum of 16 rounds as well. That's also important because we are in a purifying process. Only if you practicing like this, you should sit on the Vyasasana. That's the first thing, right? And then Srila Prabhupada explains that what we're doing as far as passing on the knowledge is like we are simply passing on knowledge like a postman, handing over the goods as we receive them. And that's how it should be. Postman gets a parcel or a letter and he passes it. He doesn't do things to the parcel or letter or change the contents of the parcel and then pass it on to whoever is named for. You pass it on as it is. So our character should be free from all vices and we should be giving information as it is. We should have understood the message. Then we can pass it on. If you haven't understood. So if you haven't understood it, then you ask your doubts and you're trying to clear your doubts and you read again, make sure maybe you misread it, right? Which is possible. You check information before you share it. That's the important thing. And sharing this knowledge, it pleases Krishna. So Shravana means like you're hearing, and then Kirtana means then you are transferring the information you are speaking, you're explaining the subject to other people. So this way we also contemplate the knowledge, mananam. Like I might have heard something or understood it, but I try to explain it to someone, then I think, did I explain it properly? Or did I actually understand it properly myself before I explained it? So sometimes there might be like some deviation in your understanding. And you can, once you repeat it to self or repeat it to others, it starts making more sense. So as we assimilate the knowledge, we are actually reviving it. We are made of knowledge. We just revive that knowledge. So, Satchit and Ananda, the Chit, the knowledge already inside us. We have the knowledge. It's all there. This is what a soul is made of, Sat, Chit and Ananda. The Chit part is the knowledge. So basically, you're just reviving that knowledge in our consciousness. It's already there. So that's 1.1.6. Let's go to 1.17. Yani Veda Vidam Shreshto Bhagwan Badrayanaha Anya Cha Muniha Sutta Pravar Vido Vidhu. So being the eldest, let's just do the synonyms. Yani, all that. Veda Vidam, scholars of the Vedas. Shrestha, senior most. Bhagwan, incarnation of Godhead. Badrayanaha, Vyasdev. Anya, others. Cha and Munya, the sages. Sutta or Sutta Goswami. Pravara Vidha, amongst the learned scholars. One who is conversant with physical and metaphysical knowledge. Vidhu, one who knows. So Yani Veda Vidam Shreshto Bhagwan Badrayana Anya Chamuna Sutta Pravar Vido Vidhu. So being the eldest learned Vedantis, O Sutta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead, and you also know the sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. So Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation on the Brahma Sutra or the Badarayani Vedanta Sutras. It is called natural because Vyasadeva is author of both the Vedanta Sutras and Srimad Bhagavatam. All the essence of the Vedic literatures. Besides Vyasadeva, there are other sages who are the authors of 6 different philosophical systems, namely Gautama, Kanad, Kapila, Patanjali, Jaimini, and Ashtavakra. Theism or Ashtavakra. Theism is explained completely in the Vedanta Sutra, whereas in other systems of philosophical speculations, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. It's interesting. So I'll say that again. Whereas in the other system of philosophical speculations, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. One can sit on the Vyasasana only after being conversant in all systems of philosophy, so that one can present fully the theistic views of the Bhagavatam in defiance of all other systems. So Srila Sutta Goswami was the proper teacher, and therefore the sages at Naimisharanya elevated him to the Vyasasana. Srila Vyasadeva is designated herein as the personality Godhead because he is the authorized, empowered incarnation. So Vyasadeva is an empowered incarnation. So Vyasadeva is not God. He's not Vishnu Tattva, he's Jiva Tattva. But he has the potency of the Lord. And you can tell, somebody has the potency, like Srila Prabhupada, he had potency, they can do some incredible things that can't be done by a normal human being. Right? So he was empowered being Shakti Vaishya. So he actually wrote down the Vedas, like we discussed so many times, that they were huge, and he wrote them all down, Mahabharata, and he wrote down, Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can imagine. So before this, the Vedas were passed by Shruti, by hearing and memorizing. But now, like in the age of Kali, people, our memories are pretty weak. We can't even remember what happened yesterday, or what we heard. We have to ask again. We're just so forgetful now. We're so absent-minded. So, and the attention span is is terrible. We can only listen for a couple of minutes, and the mind drifts off. So, even if you had a great memory, if you're not listening, how are you going to learn, right? So at least it was written down. You can, your mind drifts off, and then you come back. Oh, well, you done something, and then you come back, and then you start reading again. Or you can go over what you read because your mind had drifted off. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary because Vyasadeva is the empowered Shakti Vaishya avatar, right? So this Srimad Bhagavatam is rejecting all the other philosophies as mentioned in the purport. So all these others that we just mentioned have been rejected by Bhagavatam because Bhagavatam mentioned that they are mostly atheistic philosophies because they don't talk about the Lord. So it is most important to give glories of devotional service. That otherwise, if God is not mentioned, then what good is any philosophy? It's just dry speculation, dry philosophy without Krishna in there. So it's very important. This is why Bhagavatam, is so beautiful, because it has the right contents, which obviously Vyasadeva learned from Narada Muni later on, because he felt something was missing and he found out what it was. So in the final verse, Veta Tvam Somya Tat Sarvam Tatvatas Tad Anugrahat Bruhu Snigdasya Shishyasya Guruvo Guhyam Api Uta. So Veta, you are well conversant. Tvam, your honor, Somya, one who is pure and simple, that those Sarvam, all, Tatvataha, in fact, Tat, there, Anugrahat, by the favor of Bruhu, will tell. Sinigdasya, of the one who is submissive, Shishyasya, of the disciple, Guruvaha, the spiritual masters, so it's plural, Guhyam, secret, Api Uta, endowed with. So Veta Tvam Somya Tat Sarvam Tatvatas Tad Anugrahat Bruhu Snigdasya Shishyasya Guravo Guham Api Uta. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. So the secret of success in spiritual life in satisfying the spiritual master and thereby getting his sincere blessings. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has sung in his hymns 8 stanzas or ashtakams on the spiritual master as follows. I offer my respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead. And when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Sutta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. The sages of Naimisharanya were confident that Srila Sutta Goswami was bona fide, therefore they were anxious to hear from him. I mean, they have to be very confident to hear from him because, 88,000 sages there, and of them, he was the best person to hear from, not forgetting that he just been and even heard the Srimad Bhagavatam, but he had the potency to tell, to glorify as well. So, but they're glorifying, he's worthy of glorification. That's the main thing. So they glorified him and talked about his qualities, and now they're anxious to hear from him. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned the secret of success in life is by satisfying the spiritual master. Pleasing the spiritual master pleases Krishna, with reference to the following example. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example of Narada Muni and the hunter Magrari. Example there. So Magrari, the hunter, was told by Narada Muni to stop half killing animals. So he used to injure them and then wait for them to, die in pain, right? He follows, and when Narada Muni asked him, why are you doing this? Now, why are you half killing them? If you want to kill them, then just kill them. Why are you half killing them? And he says, well, this is how my father used to do it. So I'm just following his example. So without thinking or, knowing what's right and wrong, he's just doing what his father had taught him. So Narada Muni says, look, if you want to kill them, just kill them. So he started he took his advice, because Narad Muni, again, he has a lot of potency, and when he speaks, it's very meaningful and it's easily understandable and is worthy of following. So Magrari, he followed the advice of Narad Muni, and suddenly he stopped killing the animals altogether. That was the blessing of Narad Muni. If Narad Muni has blessed you because you took his advice, sooner or later, we will be mangal, everything will become right for you. This is the blessing of the great souls. When they bless you, it comes true. So Sutta Goswami, some of his, so we talk about great souls. So some of his qualities mentioned are like Anagha, is freed from all vices, Aditani, he's well versed in the scriptures, Puranas, and histories, and he knows how to explain them, Akhyatani. So this is what we just discussed in some of the verses, and his qualities were mentioned. So these are qualities of a good speaker. He should be free from all vices, should be well versed in scriptures, Puranas, and histories, and also know how to explain them. And Veda Vidam, he was the eldest learned Vedantist. Shrestha knows the knowledge of Vyasadeva and other sages. Somya, he was gentle, pure, and simple. And Snigdasya, and he's submissive. Because he's submissive, the gurus endowed him with favors. So it's mentioned that these qualities are very, very important of the speaker or of the disciple, who's going to learn from his guru. So we need Somya. We need to be gentle, pure, and simple. And we need to practice in goodness, please Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada was the embodiment of these qualities, right? So it's by our qualities we can command respect from others, and they want to listen to you. It's like when a speaker is introduced before he gives a class, you're trying to find out his qualities. And when you think, wow, all right, okay, so he gives a very nice class, and he knows this, he's done Bhakti Shastri, he's done that, his guru, his holiness so and so, and you think, yeah, start having respect for this person, and you want to listen to them. So you want to command respect, then you must have some qualities, and those qualities are highlighted before a speaker speaks. And it was same with Srila Prabhupada. He commanded respect with all these qualities. So by wholeheartedly accepting the supreme absolute truth, and surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind, body, and words, we try to learn and stay in the district succession. So thank you very much. I would like to stop here, and I hope you learned something from these 4 verses. So the scene is nearly set now. Sutta Goswami, he's been asked to come on the Vyasasana and tell the sages what he had learned, what he had heard, and soon Sutta Goswami, will be speaking. So thank you so much, and I'd like to hear from Pundikaksh Prabhu, if you would like to just share something with us. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for reading so nicely. Especially you stressed on those.
Is it me?
Okay.
So I can hear you now. Sorry.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for reading verses so nicely and explaining us so nicely. And especially you stressed on those points twice or thrice when some point needs to go deeper into the mind. I feel like these 4 verses are actually explained by Srila Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, where initially it starts with who can actually become a spiritual master, who can have control all the 6 things, like and what 6 things are good for devotional, and what 6 things can spoil your devotional service. And to get into devotional service, what you need to do to get a good association, invite the people to your home, and finally end up saying that chanting, but chanting especially in a places in a holy places like Radha Kund, and then finally he explained about this. So here it starts with Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya is a very holy place, and Prabhupada mentioned that when you chant in such a holy place, you get more um, interest, more love for the chanting and those things. And sages before they actually do this yajna, they asked Brahma that what is a good place where we can perform the sacrifice. And Brahma said, I'll throw my disc, and wherever it stops, you can actually perform your sacrifice there. And that is the place Naimisaranya. And I read in on the online that this is the place where Lord Ram actually did sacrifice before killing Ravan. And so many things happened in this place. Like we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam again, which again recited by Sonakumar Rishi to all the sages in this place. So especially like generally we I mean in the initial days we when we go for picnic we plan to go for so and so good places, but at least now we'll go to this kind of holy dham to elevate us up in the spirituality. And the qualification of the speaker is mentioned very nicely that he should be well versed in the scriptures and at the same time have control on all the vices. So it is matching our four regulative principles well aligned by Srila Prabhupada to us. And it's not just reading the scriptures, but we also need to share this information with the people. Then, as you said, it is good for us only. Specifically, when we share, our own mind will get more clarity on what we are reading. That helps really nicely. And um, and a good thing is to wake up early. Wake up early in the morning. That's why we have this Brahmahutta Japa session, which helps any devotees. If they are struggling to do chanting in the early morning, we can have association. Especially the association face to face is really good, so that we will not sleep and be attentive as well. But if not possible, at least we can have this online japa session where we can gather together and do chanting. Um, that's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I mean, for me, again, every time I hear of Krishna Katha, I'm so pleased that I'm in the association of others with sharing this knowledge. And this these verses is the advent of Kali, and Krishna left. But Krishna left and he resides in the scriptures. He is present in the Srimad Bhagavatam. He is manifest in all the pages and all the words that are spoken, that have ever been spoken, and in all the pastimes that have been heard of in the past. And yes, not anybody can impart this knowledge. These have to be quite distinguished people, the Goswamis. And in our classes in the mornings, we go through the tree, the branches, and those branches are not just one or two. We're talking of many, many branches who've contributed to this body of wisdom. And hence, we are in a privileged position to have this Gatha because it is ratified and it is a scientific wisdom that is imparted to all of us. And to hear it in the morning is great. It is the spotless literature. It is the spotless wisdom, and it is given by spotless characteristics of the sages. And even those people who now impart it, yes, we hear from them because they are revered people, because they've done their time, their penance, they've got up early in the morning, they've read, they've chanted, right? And hence they have got the history and the wisdom to impart that knowledge. And so we know who these people are. We can sometimes know who the the deceptive person is. But those deceptive people are many in the motherland who fool people. But some will be fooled, many won't be fooled, and hence we have to go back to the actual river, the source of the Ganges, and that's the Srimad Bhagavatam, which now tells us this is the journey. That journey is very important. That gives us satisfaction to the heart, to the soul, will help us be liberated and purify our hearts. What was it? I was intrigued by what you said, and I missed that earlier. When Narad Muni met this hunter who was only killing animals, not fully, but wanted to see them suffer. That's what's happening today. We're suffering. We're in a state of misery, threefold misery, and we're being killed off emotionally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, you name it. Now we have a choice: be killed off half or be killed off wholly. Narad Muni was very kind to him. He said, don't let them suffer, kill them. And that hunter realized the error of his ways, because harming others, no matter how big, small, four-legged, 100-legged, two-legged, is not in our best interest. We have to serve Krishna and serve other people, and through that non-violent approach and being a servant to Krishna through the Srimad Bhagavatam will help us on this journey. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Ru. Yes, very good explanation. Yes. He became conscious of the animals. Before that, he was just doing, like was been doing all his life, and he's doing it in a subconscious way. It's like when these pilots, fighter pilots, or when they drop bombs from the sky, they're doing it from a very high distance. They don't really see the people, who will suffer, the children who will suffer from what they've just dropped. But sometimes they're really close and they can see the suffering. Then it has a very detrimental effect on them, because they've realized what they've just done. But when they do it, I'm doing my job, I've got to throw this bomb, and they're not really, and they just flown past it. They have no idea of what they just, what damage they just done. So it's like that. So if you can become conscious of what you're doing, then you can really change your ways.
Can I just say something? In the field that I work in, or used to work in, we used to use this psychology, the psychology that when I was with drug users or alcoholics, I used to say to them, that's fine, carry on drinking, drink as much as you want. But next time you drink and next time you inject for your family, inject for your child, inject and drink for your mother and father, and for the child who you will leave behind when you depart this plane. And there comes a time when you realize, hang on, my flaws or my abuse of my body is harmful to others. And so soon they realize any alcoholic overindulgence or drug use or misuse, they realize there's a detrimental effect not only on them, but the children will be without their mother or father. Hare Krishna. Sorry about that.
No, that's very good. Yeah, it's diminished responsibility, because sometimes we don't realize what our actions, how far they're going, how many people they're affecting. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the class. Please accept my humble obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji's already made some very, very good comments, so I don't have too much to add. I think the only thing I wanted to say was about, and it's just a point that I've my takeaway from today's class, is that our life should be a sacrifice for the pleasure of the Lord. We satisfy Him, then everybody in the whole universe benefits. And anything performed for any other reason creates bondage. If our devotional life is progressing well, then that's a good sign, is that it's progressing well, is that we actually start to lose interest in material pursuits and material attachments. So automatically that's a good gauge that we're progressing well spiritually. Yeah, that was it. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Auntie. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada says that we should understand, do we have control over our sleep, our eating, like over our senses? That's like first indication that some change is coming into us. So it's like that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the stages. The first stage actually is, are you becoming detached from cinemas and restaurants and sense gratification? And then obviously, are we detached, or are we in control of the three modes of nature? Ignorance as in sleep, passion as in eating tasty foods and onion, garlic, like that, in our food. So these things, do we have control over them? And then obviously you go on to the divine and the demoniac qualities. Because we all have divine, and we have demonic qualities inside us. Are our demoniac qualities reducing? So so it's all in the Bhagavad Gita, in stage by stage. Are we making progress? So we can check like that. So thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. It's very nicely explained by Kiran Prabhu, Punjikaksh Prabhu. Nice points made by Mataji. Yeah, so in these verses, we just heard about the glorification of the holy places, how the holy places elevates consciousness. And then we heard about the sages, how sages and pure devotees, they're so merciful, they're only thinking for the welfare of the people. And then the example of Narad Muni, how he changed the life of the hunter. And this morning we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading the trunk, the branches, sub-branches of Chaitanya tree. And then in it's like we are about in the 70 branches, and now Jagai and Madhai are the part of the branches as well. How merciful is Lord Chaitanya, the people like Jagai and Madhai, with the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, they became part. And I was thinking probably I'm like a weed growing under the tree. So, so we'll have to be, I can't say we are the leaves or anything at the moment. So we have to be connected to get the benefit, so, and then it mentioned about the congregational chanting of the holy name is only a prescribed method for this Kali Yuga. So we just have to sincerely chant. And then last verse, again, the importance of spiritual master. We've read in Bhagavad Gita as well, how we should approach our spiritual master. And, the success, of success, secret of success is only to satisfy spiritual master, which satisfies Krishna. And we can only do it by following the instructions carefully and wholeheartedly. So we just need to have all the qualities of submissive and obedient, and we have to be very sincere in what we're doing. And I really am happy, how Srila Prabhupada has given us the 4 regulative principles. And I think they're very good to, reduce our vices, and gradually, slowly, not at once, but it does certainly help to reduce, the other qualities like anger and this, and it does teach you tolerance and everything. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Is our Dr. D like to say something?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Hare Krishna.
These verses, I think, definitely Prabhupada recommends that we should read Bhagavad Gita first, and then Sri Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita. But reading Bhagavatam, it has cleared a lot of concepts in my mind personally. Like, for example, the first verse establishes the authority that why Krishna is supreme, giving the qualities that he is supreme. Second verse obviously establishes why Bhagavatam is supreme, and why it is, it is the Purana amongst the all of the rest Puranas. And then it has now gone on to lay the. And then the third verse was important. What is our prayochan? Why are we and why and how we need to connect with Krishna and Bhagavatam. And these verses are very nicely laying the foundation that, okay, if this is the third succession that we are hearing Bhagavatam from, then why Sutta Goswami is one very qualified person to answer all these questions by the sages, and why he has been chosen, and what are the qualities that, in case when the Kali Yuga progresses, when you have similar persons who you want to hear, what needs to be your qualification and what needs to be their qualification. I think these are very, very important, like a textbook for us, honestly. If we follow this, as Prabhupada says, that Bhagavatam it should be taught in all schools and universities around the world. It's a lifestyle standard. So is Bhagavad Gita. That's it from me.
Very
Thank
nice.
you very much. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
very nicely understood. Yes. So that's why they're now glorifying Sutta Goswami. We glorified Krishna, we glorified Srimad Bhagavatam, and now we're glorifying. So there's a lot of glorifications. It's a book of glorifications, Srimad Bhagavatam. But yes, it's very good to glorify. So we know what the qualities are, and if anybody thinks that we are this, do we have these qualities to qualify for that position? So thank you for explaining. You're very nice.
Yeah, the only thing is, it's glorification to establish the authority. It is not like that you scratch my back and I am scratching your back. It is just actually glorifying those, and to establish that why Krishna is supreme, why Bhagavatam is supreme, and if Sutta Goswami is reciting is why he is supreme in those times.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Brother, anyone say?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Beautiful realizations by everyone. And I was just thinking that if we continue like this, just think when we will be down few years down in the line, we will be so much, I wouldn't say advanced. We should be so much in understanding of the Bhagavatam, how Bhagavatam is supposed to be understood in the association and discussion. We have to not just read, we have to hear, we have to ask our doubts, then have discussion on it. And this is how we are going to understand it. So this is the hunger of our souls. This is why everything is laid out in the world as it is. And like Mataji was saying, Jagai Madhai are also part of the branches of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, they are our representatives in this Kali Yuga. This is how I see. Because in the beginning, I used to think, oh, Jagai Madhai are, one of the goons or, not very nice personalities. But they represent us. So whenever we talk of people like them, they are kind of devotees as well, because they had the part in the Leela in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Chaitanya Leela. So we should see that how fallen we are. Actually, they are like mirror for us. I always see the characters in any of the Leelas, in any of the cantos of Bhagavatam as the mirror that we can just look at those, the characters, the devotees, whether they are for Krishna or, are against Krishna in that particular Leela. They actually show us that where do we stand. So this is how we progress. And like these shlokas were telling us after the first 3 shlokas we done earlier on, these shlokas are telling us that we should be willing to sacrifice our one life for Krishna. Prabhupada stressed it again and again. Sacrifice doesn't mean that we have to give up everything, we have to become so austere, stop eating, stop living. No, we have to understand Krishna. That is our sacrifice. This is the sacrifice of this day and age. This is how I've understood it now, that we have to sacrifice this one life in understanding Krishna, and then somehow try to explain it and share with others in the association, or anyone who is asking us anything, or if we meet someone outside in the vicinity of our comfort, they have any questions, or we think that we can help them through the learnings we have learned from the scriptures. That will be the ultimate sacrifice. This is what Prabhupada says when he says, give one life to Krishna. And yes, and let's hope that what we have learned today will be able to apply it on ourselves. We have to glorify others. You know, this is the hunger of our soul. We want to hear nice things about ourselves, isn't it? This is one of the one thing which makes everyone happy, apart from good food and nourishment and all the comforts in life. We want to be hearing nice, sweet words from each other. So this is how I think Krishna is telling us that we have to glorify our spiritual master. We have to glorify the ones who are guiding us in the right path. But at the moment, it's all perverted. The glorification is on the mundane things. We are glorifying, like Prabhu saying, say good thing to others, so the other one will be saying good thing to me. No, it has to be more than that. So yes, we have to read between the dotted lines in Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. We'll finish here, and we can all get back to our duties, keeping Krishna in the center. Thank you so much, and we'll catch up again on Friday. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you for the association.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhakti ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hari
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.